Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had a really great and wonderful week. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining here. For those of you who tune in, um, for those of you who are new, I'm trying to get these settings here. Let's see. Okay, there we go. For those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment, welcome, welcome. Again, we're here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for those who are starting to join here. If you're watching the replay on Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube, welcome to you as well. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And let's see if these comments want to come in today. I hope that they will be coming in at some point, but let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from today. I am in the Tampa Bay area, Florida, and yes, I am back live. So 99% of the time of the year, I am here live. Last week was my son's spring break, as some of you may have known. So we were taking some mommy son time and family time that week, of course, and we were at Busch Gardens. Hi, thanks so much for joining here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So yes, so I am back here live today. And again, I hope that you're doing well. Good evening to you as well from San Francisco's in the house. Welcome back. So let me know again, like I said in the chat, where you're tuning in from. Hopefully I can see some of your comments, but not all of them for some reason. I don't know why. Let me see. Yep, it says live. Okay. For some reason, I can't see them lately. But I love seeing your comments, but let me know because sometimes they'll pop in later. But nonetheless, so how many of you saw the solar eclipse yesterday? If you missed it, you definitely didn't miss it if you were on any form of social media or watching the news. I feel like that is all that I saw yesterday, was just tons and tons and tons of people like watching, this eclipse, which was cool. I saw a slight glimpse. I'm in Florida, so we had like a partial one here, and my neighbors let me borrow their like solar eclipse glasses really quick. So I could see like the cool features through the solar eclipse glasses. So that was a pretty cool thing. But again, thank you for those who are starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. For those of you who are brand new to mental health moment is about learning ways to improve yourself. So how do you become the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for those around you? That's what mental health moment has been about always. And hi, thanks again for joining here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So today, I wanted to share with you, first I wanted to remind you before I give you some of the tips today, I wanted to remind you all, especially for the newbies to mental health moment, how important it is for you to be checking in with yourself. And what I mean by that is to be checking in on your emotional health and your mental health and your physical health and your spiritual health, right? Like literally taking the time to do that, because life can become really, really overwhelming. So for some reason, myself included, it just feels like the energy right now, maybe it's the time of year, is that it seems like there's a high level of feelings of being overwhelmed. So everyone I feel like I've talked to in the past 2 days or so, a lot of my colleagues are really, really overwhelmed, myself included, because there's just a lot on the plate. And hi, thanks for joining. Yay, I can actually see some of the comments now. So let me know again where you're tuning in from the chat here. I can actually see, I see one of the LinkedIn comments, and hopefully some more than will start to tune in here. All right, some more than will start to come up here. But nonetheless, so I wanted to take a quick reminder for you to remind yourself to check in with yourself, meaning, are you saying, how am I doing? How am I doing? What do I need? Right? What do you need right now, emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally? For some of you, you might be like, I really, really need a break, which is good that you recognize that. Maybe some of you feel like you can't take that break. Oh, my comments are finally coming in. Maybe some of you are just saying like, I'm too busy, I'm too stressed out to take a long break. But oftentimes we need to take the breaks that we can, meaning if you only get like a free minute or a free 5 minutes or a free 10 minutes out of your day, that counts too. but make sure that you're taking the breaks that you need because there's a lot going on and it can be really overwhelming. Um, and oh, wonderful. Los Angeles is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Good morning to you as well. Well, it's evening here, but good morning to you. Oh, depending on where you are in the world. South California is in the house. I was going to say South Carolina. But California is here. Welcome, welcome. Arthur, Texas is in here. I'm not sure where Port Arthur is. But I was just in Dallas this past weekend, actually, doing a speaking engagement, which was a last minute thing, but just it was a really quick, like flying into Texas and flying back out, flying back home. But again, as I mentioned, there's a lot happening, and a lot of my colleagues that I'm talking to as well are saying that there's a lot going on in the world and happening. So Connecticut's here. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Actually, before I give you all the tips today, I do want to remind you that next month, which is crazy that May is next month. To me, that's just crazy. I don't know where this year is going by. It feels like it's flying by. But next month, May 24th and 25th in Philadelphia, I will be speaking at the Get to Worthy Summit, which is on your screen. It's gettoworthysummit.com if you're able to register and attend. It's essentially a mental health and wellness summit. I'm super excited for it. It's being thrown by a dear friend of mine, Nate Evans Jr., who is phenomenal in the mental health space. Phenomenal speaker, phenomenal human being. He is producing this summit, which is exciting. There's going to be panels there. There's going to be speakers there. There's going to be so much information. Again, like how do you grow into who you are? How do you change your mindset? How do you grow into being a better person and connect with other people, like-minded people there? So I'm super excited. So if you're in the area or if you're interested in attending, again, those are the dates. The promo code Hammond10 you can use to get $10 off. You're welcome. Off of any general admission or the VIP ticket there. So I think they still have VIP left. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, Hammond10 is a promo code if you're going to register at gettoworthysummit.com. So I wanted to let you know, you all know that. That'll be the next place that I can't announce that'll be open to the public this year, but I'll definitely be having some other engagements. So I'll let you all know when I'm able to of the ones that are open to the public. Let's see here. First timer from Nigeria, welcome. Someone said they're here. We're about 2 hours east of Houston. Welcome, welcome. I need sun. Yes. What summit and when? The summit is, so it's on the screen. So get to worthysummit.com. Unless you're listening to this, then I'll just let you know. It's gettoworthysummit.com if you can't see the screen for any reason. But it's May 24th and May 25th in Philadelphia. And I will be speaking there on mental health, obviously. But it's going to be fantastic. It's called Get to Worthy because it's about how do you grow? How do you heal? How do you deal with your emotions? How do you grow as a person? How do you change your mindset? All those types of topics will be there. Hello from Dallas. Welcome. North Carolina's. Oh, Dallas. I was just there, as I was mentioning. North Carolina's in the house. Welcome, welcome. I'm super excited, you all, that I can actually see the comments today because for some reason, you all, someone even asked, like, are you still doing mental health moment? I'm like, yes, I've been doing that for years. And for some reason, the last month or so, I haven't been able to see a lot of you all's comments, which I love to see. Someone said, will the summit be online? Unfortunately, it's only in person. I'm not sure if they're recording it or not. I'm not quite sure of that. You might want to check out the website. I'm not sure on that. But I know for sure it is in person. Unfortunately, so it won't be virtual for that one. But I will let you know when, there's going to be a virtual summit this year for sure. So I'll let you all know when I know about that. But thanks again so much for joining here. If you're just tuning in, it's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So today we're talking about how do you deal with feeling overwhelmed? And I'm chuckling because this time of year, as I was mentioning before, for the people that came in a little bit earlier, it's just, I don't know, it's just an odd time. It's kind of sort of beginning of the year. Before you know it, though, it'll be the summer. And it just seems like people are juggling a lot of different things. So a couple of things. One that's really important for you to think about is make sure that you are intentional with your time. I know it's easier said than done, but it's so critically important for you to make sure that you're intentional with your time. What does that mean? When you when you truly prioritize your time, so we talked a couple of mental health moments ago about time management, which is on YouTube if you didn't see that one. For some reason, they're all on YouTube, Dr. Nikisha Hammond YouTube. But we talked about time management, but it's so important when you really start to prioritize your time and you're intentional, you will organize your time in the way that works best for you. So you have to say to yourself, what is the highest three things on your list? When you are intentional in your day and you're like, these three things are my most important things, whatever that is for you. If you're like, it's self-care for me, or it's my physical health I need to think about, or it's my family I need to think about, or it's my friends, or it's my job, or whatever it is in your top three of the day, making sure that that becomes the priority. There are so many distractions out there, you all. There's so many distractions for your time, like a gazillion distractions for your time. But when you're intentional about how you want to spend the day, and when I say intentional, it means when you wake up in the morning, no, you cannot control everything that happens in your day, of course not. But when you wake up in the morning, you're like, okay, my intention today is my top three should be somewhere a part of my day, right? So, for example, hi, thanks for joining from California. Hayward, I don't know where that is actually, but thanks for joining. Someone's here from San Diego. I know where that is. Welcome, welcome. Someone said they're looking forward to thinking about their peace of mind. Beautiful. And yeah, let me know in the comments for you, right? If you would say the top three things that you're going to be intentional about in your everyday, what would some of them be? Right. So for me, one of my things that's very huge is my physical health. So I try, it's not 7 days a week, but it's 4 to 5 on average. Sometimes in a really good week, it's 6, but trying to be really active because right now at this stage of my life, I feel very young, y'all. I'm not gonna tell you my age, but at this stage of my life, physical health is a really high priority because my schedule's so doggone hectic. And in order for me to run around and be doing the 500 things that I'm doing, I know that physically I have to take care of my temple. So that is very high on the list, meaning when you make that intentionality, again, that whatever it is for you, and let me know in the comments what it is, your top three, or maybe your number one. But that's one of my top three. But when you make that as an intention, then you literally will start to schedule things around it. Now, I will say though that you will be distracted. Whatever you say is your priority, you will be distracted at some point. There'll be something else that pops up in your day, and you have a decision to make. You really do. Like, are you doing A or are you doing B? Well, what was your intention for that day? Or maybe it's for the week. What was your intention? What did you say you were trying to focus on? Was it, again, your physical health? Was it your spiritual health? Was it emotionally doing better? Was it your friends, your families, work? Like, what is it in that week or that day that you set your intention to do? Now, of course, there are distractions that will come up that have to be attended to. So we're not talking about emergencies, right? That's life. That happens. But the non-emergency things, you know what I'm talking about. The non-emergency things that pop up that are just there to distract you. Phones, social media, someone calling you needing something that's not urgent, whatever it is, all those sorts of things, you always have a decision to make, right? Is it A or B? But how you make that decision is how hopefully you've already set an intention for your day or for your week. So again, what is it important? What is important for you when you think about the highest priorities, the highest two or three things? I would say at least three, but the highest things that you want to prioritize in your day. So let me know in the comments. Someone said, writing their book, self-care Sundays, and exercise for their week. Beautiful. So that's an excellent example of for your week, you know, you need to be spending time doing that. And the reason why it's helpful is because when the distractions come, it can be really overwhelming. It can be like highly overwhelming when these things come. But if you already know what you set your intention for, it can reduce your stress just a little bit. It doesn't make it all go away. We're not making all our problems go away here, but it can really help you deal with the overwhelm that comes. The second thing to think about is perspective. And for some of you who know, that is my word for 2024. And I'm really glad it's my word because I feel like I'm starting to think about that every week. putting things into perspective. The vast majority of things that you stress about are not, they're not going to be something you need to be stressing about more than maybe 3 months or 6 months or a year or however long that thing is. Some things, yes, have a really longer toll on whatever it is that you're going through. But a lot of things, there's things that I stress about right now. And I'm like, wait a minute, in 3 to 6 months from now, that's not going to be something I'm worrying about. So I have to constantly be putting things in perspective. So that's the second thing I want you to think about today. The first one is to think about your intentionality, meaning what is your intention for your day? What is your intention for your week? Southern California's in the house. Welcome. What is your intention for your week? And then the second thing to think about is, are you putting things into perspective when you're getting overwhelmed? So for the person in the chat that wrote, for example, they have self-care Sundays. That's again an intention, but it's a form of self-care that you say, hey, I want to make sure that I'm doing this every Sunday, right? Or maybe you have Wellness Wednesday, which is a day that I love as well. But maybe you say, okay, on Wednesdays, I'm doing these three things. I'm making sure that I put myself as a priority, and I'm making sure that I'm intentional, and I'm putting this form of wellness, whatever that looks like for you, into your life to deal with the overwhelm. Because one of the things that's really important, you all, we've talked of this at length on Mental Health Moment, is that if you like, for those of you who feel overwhelmed right now, if you continue to operate at that mental level of just feeling so stressed out, it affects you physically, not only just mentally with the thoughts and the worries and maybe sadness or however it is it manifests for you, but also it's going to affect your physical body. It literally, you're literally giving off uh, signals to your body that do all sorts of things, really, that can lead to raising your blood pressure, that can lead to issues with you eating, that can lead to issues with you sleeping, that can lead to all sorts of diseases and things that we don't want, right? We want us to have healthy bodies, but all of that can be affected. All that stress can affect your body in that way when you're not actively working on how do you manage your stress. And thanks for those who are still starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So today, again, giving a couple tips of how do you manage all of the things that are overwhelming around you. Connecting from Texas. We got a lot of Texas people in the house today. Welcome, welcome. I was just in Texas, and that's so funny today that all of you, well, not all of you, but a lot of you are from Texas today, or California, it looks like. So that's pretty cool. Yep, someone said, I have to ignore being bullied by others. I have to ignore being bullied by others, which is a great thing too. I mean, again, when you think about setting your intentionality, sometimes I'm glad you brought that up, because sometimes it looks like you dealing with your own internal struggles or whatever it is that you're going through. But sometimes setting your intentionality for the day or the week is having to think about other people in your life. So I know a lot of organizations that I've spoken with about burnout prevention. What happens is, for some people, they've said like they're stressed and overwhelmed by their coworkers, right? So you can't change other people. I mean, that's a whole nother mental health moment. Let's just say, simply put, that you're not changing your coworkers, but you can change how you approach whatever difficult situation. Being intentional. It all starts with being intentional about how you respond to people. If they're toxic, if they're stressing you out, is it worth the argument or whatever it is that you're dealing with, if it's on the job stress, for example, right? But again, it starts with being intentional. There are things you can control in your day, your reactions to a lot of different things that pop up. And there, of course, are things that we don't get to control. Things happen, life happens, we know that. But being intentional and trying to think about and visualize how you're going to approach certain situations is a good start to try to work through those things. Um, someone's, oh, hi, welcome, welcome. Thanks so much for joining here. Someone said, I don't know how I got here, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad you're here too. Welcome, welcome. I don't know. I don't know either, because that's how social media is. Sometimes you just, I don't know, things pop up. I pop up in people's feeds all the time. Apparently, I don't know how you get here, but I'm glad you're here. If you're here, you're meant to be here today and hear this message. So as I wrap up here, a couple of things. Well, one, think about implementing some of the things that I talked about today. thinking about your intentionality, meaning what are the top 3 things that you prioritize in your day, and making sure that you do your best to keep that in mind, to keep that prioritization in mind for you. The other thing to think about, putting things into perspective, really, really critically important. There's levels to being able to put things into perspective, but the more you practice it, the easier it does become over time, where you can really stop and think, wait a minute, I am so stressed out, I'm so overwhelmed in this, whatever it is, this too shall pass, whatever it is that's stressing you out, your, family situation or work or school or whatever situation it is, sometimes it does have an end date, right? It has an end date. So just know this might not be something that you're dealing with for 5 years. It might be something you're dealing with 5 days or 5 months. But a lot of things do resolve themselves. You're absolutely welcome. Um, and um, and also, I wanted to remind you again, for those of you who are tuning in a little bit late, of the Get to Worthy Summit. GetToWorthySummit.com is where I will be in Philadelphia. It's going to be May 24th and 25th, Emotional and Mental Health Summit. It's going to be amazing to learn great things about your wellness. I'm excited to be there. You can use my promo code Hammond10 to get a discount, because who doesn't love discounts? If you need me before next Tuesday, you can always reach out on drnikishahammond.com. Excuse me. And I have some super exciting announcements coming up here, but in the next couple weeks, I promise I will share with you all. But great things this year. And I think those are all my announcements. Oh, and you can also connect, of course, on social media. I always forget that part. But you can always connect on social media as well. Instagram, Dr.Hammond, Facebook, Dr. Nikisha Hammond, LinkedIn, Dr. Nikisha Hammond, or Twitter, or X, as it's called, Dr._Hammond. So be sure to connect. Dallas is in the house, and welcome. I look at all those Texas people. There's so many Texas people here today. I was just there. I just got back. When did I get back from Dallas? Sunday. This Sunday, because I was there. Um, I was a keynote for an event on Saturday night in Dallas. So I was just there visiting your beautiful city with the hugest airport. That airport, Dallas Fort Worth Airport, is huge, you all. But nonetheless, California's in the house as well. Thanks so much again for joining. I will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Have an amazing week. Be sure to take care of yourselves. Be sure to work on reducing your stress level. Whatever it is that you're going through, just know that there is hope. A lot of things, like they say, this too shall pass. A lot of things fall into that category, even though it feels like it's very overwhelming. But take the steps that you need to take care of you, so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for those around you. So I will see you all next Tuesday, as I mentioned, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Be blessed. Have an amazing week, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, you guys.